Hey everybody, I'm Matt Hill. I'm here in Oklahoma City, and I'm here at the, what is this?
The Boone Pickens School of Geology Student Organizations booth. It's at Oklahoma State.
Well, everybody introduce yourselves. Hand that microphone around.
I'm Ian Kallenberg, and I'm an undergrad in the Boone Pickens School Geology program, representing the Oklahoma University Geological Society.
Pretty good. It's a good job. You guys are naturals.
I'm Hudson Mosley. I'm also an undergrad at OSU. I'm a junior, and I'm also here with the Geological Society.
Thank you guys for doing this, being my victims.
I'm Isabel Buentello. I am the student chapter president of the American Association of Petroleum Geologists, and I'm a second-year master's student at Oklahoma State University.
Polished already. Proud of you.
I'm Megan Garrett. I'm a second-year master's student at Oklahoma State University, and I am the vice president of the AAPG chapter here at OSU.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hagood. I'm a third-year PhD student in the Boone Pickens School of Geology, and I'm president of the Geology Graduate Student Association at OSU.
Well, keep hold of that. You guys are the future leaders of our industry, and I can't thank you enough for picking, oil and gas as a possibility of your future. And, it's energy education is why I started this in the first place. I looked out at my own future, my children's future, and just, in general, the world, and wanted to do everything I could in my power, now that I've been successful, to give the next generation the tools that they need, and hope, with all my, prayers, that you guys might consider oil and gas as a possibility. And what you guys face is completely different from what I face, because looking up after 20 years, we always thought that everybody loved oil and gas and what we did. And turns out, whoa, there's some people out there that don't even know what we do anymore. So what got you interested in oil and gas?
I think I just like geology in general. I'm a very curious person, and just being able to explore the earth and utilize resources that kind of benefit humankind and globally, just provide resources globally for many of the everyday products that we use, I think is really cool, and really cool to be a part of and get to be those investigators for that.
Yeah, we all thrive because of hydrocarbons somehow, right? You guys did you meet or see Alex yesterday when he was here?
We heard he was here.
Did you read the book yet?
I haven't.
It's a great, read it. It's, you already know most of the stuff in there, but anybody that ever argues with you, he's got talking points, concise, and, to the point. And then also you can hand him the book and say, hey, I know I've got skin in the game, so don't believe me. Here's somebody that, came from outside looking in. How did you get involved in this?
I would say my love for it kind of started in fourth grade. I was lucky to have a really good teacher who gave us a nice kind of STEM program, and we got to learn about how fossils were made. And her husband worked in the oil and gas industry, and so she even brought to class one day a vial of oil, and it was just so cool to me, and I wanted to learn more about how it was made and everything. And also, it's just one of the cheapest and most efficient ways to supply energy to our country and people around the world. And I think a lot of people take that for granted, and don't really understand how it works, and don't want to do the digging to really learn and understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how it's done.
Yep. What about you?
I would say, I got involved because I'm from Houston, Texas, and the oil industry is surrounded by me in Houston. My dad works for Schlumberger. He's actually more on the technical sales side, so he's not a geoscientist, but he's very exposed to that. And we did a lot of I don't know if anyone's familiar. We have a Renaissance Festival in Houston, and there's like a little gem mine digging pit, and I loved it when I was a kid, and that was something that I always look forward to. Come back to realize they're little crappy quartz crystals, but it was so fun. And my dad was like, well, this can be a profession. It's called geology. And then as I started paying more attention to it, because it's not always well advertised in
Sure.
K through 12, right? As I started paying more attention to it, it was like, wow, this is what fuels the world. We help find the energy that our everyday life depends on. And so that was something that was just really inspiring to me. And this podcast, I'm so glad you've come to us, because energy literacy is huge. And so the fact that you're advocating for it, and that's something we're all trying to do.
Well,
now.
You will soon be, well into your careers in oil and gas, and you'll be the next generation that has to go back and find, your own peers to go, hey, let's reach out, let's start bringing, the next generation in. It's getting harder and harder.
Right.
That's, it drives automation, but for every time we automate one of our positions in oil and gas, that doesn't mean that there's less jobs. It just means there are more technical jobs, more, STEM jobs.
Right.
We need a diversity, of mind. So we need more women, more, everybody.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, all in. How'd you get involved in geology and OSU?
Yeah, so I was pretty directionless.
And hold that up there.
Sure.
We want to hear you.
Sure. I was pretty unsure about which direction I was going to take senior year of high school, and saw geology, decided to choose that as my major on a whim, and as I'm being exposed to more and more of it, I'm just learning to love it all.
Yeah, it gets exciting, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
As they say, like, oh my gosh, we have a bright future ahead of us. This is not going away.
No, sir.
No, we will always need energy, and right now, I mean, at least the next couple hundred years of oil and gas, or the human race will not do very well, right?
No, it's not going.
What about you, buddy?
Yeah, so I got started just from a close family friend. So I'm from Tulsa, and one of the just families that lived in our neighborhood growing up, their dad worked in the oil and gas. He's still in the industry, so he's been doing it for about 30 years now, and I would just always be over at their house helping out.
Give him a
doing
shout out
stuff.
if he got you into oil and gas.
Yeah, it's Casey Clausen. He's at TG Natural Resources in Houston, but really just grateful for everything that he had taught me and kind of got my interest going throughout high school and stuff. And then once I decided to go to college, and I always knew I wanted to go to OSU growing up in Oklahoma, so
it's a good
I've
school.
just loved it since.
They have a lot of, I mean, Boone Pickens. Oh my gosh, right? Like
legend.
Legend. I was at the state capitol yesterday with Kevin Stitt, the governor,
Right.
and we went into his big conference room, and he's got Boone Pickens' long conference table there now, because after Boone passed away, he put it in Kevin Stitt's governor's office, so that they would always have that part of him. He wanted to donate it to the governor's office there, so it was pretty neat. And Boone modeled that desk after the desk in the president's I guess cabinet.
Right.
So it was pretty neat.
That is so
How
cool.
all this ties in. What's the most exciting thing you guys are learning right now that you see will be something that my generation may not know where oil and gas might be headed?
I would say, there's a lot of buzz things going on right now with energy transition, and I would say one of the most
And I'd
interesting.
say we should start using energy addition.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's the buzzwords grab us. I mean, I remember when the whole green energy thing came out. I was like, we need to stop using fossil fuels. We need to start calling it Earth energy something.
Right. Exactly, because it has a naturally negative connotation behind it. So I would say some of the most interesting things, especially here at Boone Pickens School of Geology, is we have heavy petroleum geology base in our professors, but they're also not afraid to talk about energy addition. So it is that same fundamental of this petroleum geology that you learn, this methodology.
Yep.
It applies to all of these new techniques: carbon capture and storage, groundwater modeling, and so I think that's been really interesting to know
Pulling
that
lithium out of
Exactly.
some of our
Exactly.
fluids.
I think that's something that they're really teaching us, that some older people may not have, to be open-minded, but know where all of this technology was born. Know that without oil and gas industry, we wouldn't have the ideas to go do these new problem-solving techniques. So
we would not have made solar panels. We would not have made wind farms.
Exactly.
Even though they're unreliable, and not abundant, energy. Who's to say what we could develop? That's 50 years in the making. We might have a better.
Right.
It'll require battery storage that we don't have now. So maybe you guys make some kind of earth battery out of some crystal that you found, from all your digging.
They're just saying it's just that same method of the hand that fed you is also the hand that's leading you to new ideas. Yeah. So don't turn away from it. And I think that's going to be the key thing about why the petroleum industry is so important still.
How many students do you have right now in the program? Do you know?
Let's say I'm trying to read the poster.
That's fine. Read the poster.
I think we have about 30-ish PhD students. I think it's around 17 to 20 master's students and around 50 undergrads, and we're kind of on the upturn. We're getting a lot of student interest. We have a recruiting event tomorrow for people who are interested in doing their undergrad geology at OSU, and we have some others scheduled throughout the year too.
Where do you have your recruiting events at? On campus or all over the place?
A little bit of both. So there's some that are scheduled on OSU's campus, and we'll tour them around the geology building, show them various facilities, talk about undergrad research, because anyone who does geology as an undergrad, they can get involved in research projects. I have 8 undergrads who work with me on various projects. And then we also do a lot of outreach where we go to schools and go to these community events, and we bring things one of the activities is right out front of our table. It's grammar tubes that kind of talk about the permeability of these rocks, because when you tell people we can find the oil, sometimes they think there's a big hole, and it's oh no, but depending on the permeability of the rock, we can find it.
Shale might be, there's so many ways.
Yeah, and so we just have a lot of activities that we bring out to go do outreach and stuff and talk about the geology program at OSU. And we have conferences like this one where we have tables out and we'll chat with people about doing geology at OSU.
Are you guys putting a booth in over at the OERB SOER show? We need to hook you guys up. And of course, I'm on the board of AADE, SPE, maybe 5 boards here in Oklahoma City. So, anytime you guys want to bring a booth to anything we're doing, you guys are welcome to, show up with, if I need to grab a bus and come get you, because then, really, like all of us, we're like, please for all of our prayers, we need you guys to keep doing what you're doing so that I can, someday retire, hand you that microphone and you're off to the races and, continue to keep my lights on.
We've been building a good relationship with OERB. We had them, Lisa Schwartz, come out and do a colloquium talk for us in the spring semester, and we're hoping to keep that relationship going and getting more involved with OERB stuff in general.
You guys have an impressive group. I'm very proud of you guys. Thank you for doing this. Anything else I can plug? How do people support you? What's a way? Do you guys have like a website, or is it just all through the OSU school?
So we have a website. It's if you just Google Boone Pickens School of Geology, it should pop up in your Google search. All of the student orgs have some form of social media, so Instagram, Twitter, or X now, Facebook. Boone Pickens School of Geology is also on all of those social medias. We have LinkedIn as well. But all of that is linked on the website. So if you just search up Boone Pickens School of Geology and go to the website, you'll be able to find links towards the student orgs as well.
Any fundraisers coming up?
We actually have
there we go.
Our next big event will be in the spring.
All right.
It's Tech Fest, so it's put on by AAPG, but it's also sponsored by all the fellow student organizations within the geology department. This year we're kind of looking at changing it up a little bit. We usually have a keynote speaker, but we're looking at doing kind of a career panel and really getting students involved so they can, interact with these mentors and understand, how they fit in to the industry and where they can go and find jobs out once they finish their education.
Okay. Do me a favor. Do you have what's the website for the Tech Fest? Is it all through the school again?
It's going to be through the school.
We're going to work together.
Yes.
We're going to go out and buy like OSU Tech Fest as the domain.
Right.
I'll get it for you, and then we'll just click through to that website.
Perfect. It's also a student symposium, so it's where students can come and present their research. We're going to give out prizes first, second, third for undergraduates and graduates, and then, like Megan was saying, that panel, we really want to be able to provide information on that gap, because a lot of emerging geoscientists that come out of school don't know where they belong.
No.
It's academia or industry, but there's just so many things between. So that's really what we want to be able to provide some clearance on. And
operators, service companies, research and development. There's endless possibilities.
And this podcast, we're going to lead people to this podcast because you're answering those questions right now.
I'm sorry for everyone.
So this is the save the date. It's February 23rd through the 24th. We will have more information. We will be in contact. Maybe we do need to make a website. I think that's a great way.
Yeah, at least you'll click through to that, so you have grabbers, and I'm here to help.
Thank you.
What you guys do is vital, and I appreciate you guys being part of this. There you go. Go ahead.
I was going to say there's we'll also have on February 23rd, GGSA does a career panel in April. We moved it to the 23rd date, so we're going to be having an informal networking session with industries, people work for government agencies, all that. So that's totally open for students to be involved in. And then we're running a fundraising campaign. It opens October 24th. We'll run through the end of November. It's called Philanthropeat. We do have a link for that.
There we go.
But we're trying to raise at least $10,000. 2 years ago, we started a summer camp for high school students. It's completely free through fundraising efforts of alumni, industry, anyone who's donated money and time towards it. We bring these high school students out, right now it's been about 20 of them. They stay at OSU for a week with us. We have them get involved in various geology research projects. They've done things like GIS, they've done petroleum geology, just kind of exposing them to various aspects they can get involved in. These students can then take this and do it for their local science fair in Oklahoma, can stay involved, just trying to spread the word about geology. So we're doing a fundraising for that just so we can keep offering that summer camp and open it up to even more high school students across Oklahoma and get more people involved in geology in general.
All right, well, I expect all of y'all to go out and start your own oil and gas companies and employ a lot of people and bring up all the energy from the earth that we need, okay? Appreciate y'all very much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next time. Take care. God bless you. Bye.